Who's that? Do we have an intruder in the compound? Don't make eye contact with him. He's kind of sketchy looking. Look at him just standing there. Smug self with his Leonidas beard and his flowing locks of hair. People. He's got a gun! Run for your lives! Find your safe space! Just kidding. This is planet Earth. There are no safe spaces. You gotta meet this guy. Stick around. Intro!
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Welcome back, fellow patriots, lifeblood of America. Always glad to see you. Hope everything is going well on your end of the world. As always, thanks for taking a little time out of your day to spend some time with us here at American Patriot. Guys, I got to take part in a really cool experience recently, and I just wanted to share some things about that with you guys. Stick with me. You'll get to see part of an interview with John LOVELL from Warrior Poet Society. And at the end, you'll get to see a video with a bunch of us guys running around through a kill house, shooting each other with UTM rounds, also known as simunitions. And they sting a little bit. I don't know if you can see that, but that's almost 2 months old. Lots of fun in store. Knowing that you guys, being like-minded fellow patriots, we probably share some of the same ideas about life. I believe as citizens of this country, whether it be husbands, wives, grandparents, maybe you're just a single person, I believe it's our duty to protect our families, to protect ourselves. You may want to take it another step and protect those around you. If that's similar to the way you think, you're probably going to enjoy this video. 2 months ago, I had an opportunity to go spend some time and train with a Mr. John LOVELL of Warrior Poet Society. My beloved wife and kids, being the awesome people they are, bought me this as a Christmas present. And even though I had to wait until June to experience it, it was well worth the wait. So for those of you not familiar with John LOVELL, he travels the country teaching weapons, tactics, self-defense, things of that nature. John's a former Army Ranger and did several tours over in the sandbox, and so his background is legit. He has a lot of real-life experiences to back up what he's teaching. I may have to change my name to American Bonehead after pulling a bonehead move after the class, and I've been beating my head against the wall ever since. I know. I don't need any more Dane Bramage. I already have a habit of walking backwards. I'm working on it, so back off. I asked John during the class if he'd be willing to do an interview with me after the class. He's like, sure, why not? I had just got my new camera and spent the weekend filming my kids at a competition, and when I set the camera up for the interview, everything looked great. Here comes the catastrophic part. What I forgot is I had set the focus on spot focus instead of area focus. So as we're doing the interview and I'm standing shoulder to shoulder with John, the camera, as luck would have it, was focusing directly between our shoulders at the wall behind us. So most of the interview was trashed. Still makes me mad. But the silver lining is, at one point in time, John takes a step about 2 millimeters to his left. The camera focuses on his shoulder and everything becomes clear for a little bit, at least. So I think I'll at least have part of the interview for you. So anyway, I had trained previously with John. It was a Pistol 3 class. My wife and kids bought me that class too. Either they're super awesome or they think I really need to work on my shooting. It must be because they're awesome. The first class was phenomenal. I learned so many things I'd never even thought about. John is a fantastic instructor, and I walked away with a confidence level I've never had in my life. So much so, I remember walking in the house that night, and my wife said when I walked through the door, she said, I knew I was looking at a different person. So fast forward 2 years. The class I took recently was a one-man room clearing course, which teaches you how to shoot while moving in and around structures. As far as application is concerned, I think it goes so much further than just clearing rooms. Now I look at everything a little differently. So everywhere I go now, I'm scanning, I'm just kind of working it out in my head. If something bad was to go down, what would be the best cover or concealment I could find to either engage from or to stage a counter ambush? Maybe I'm dorking out on this stuff too much. I don't know. Welcome to my demented mind. So anyway, enough of me babbling nonsense. Let's let John talk for a little bit. So I asked John Let's speak to someone that's new into firearms or self-defense. They're looking at our world and they're seeing that it's kind of on a steady decline. They're starting to see the need to protect themselves. What do you think would surprise those people the most about a violent force encounter? This is what John had to say.
You don't know what you don't know. A lot of us feel like we will rise to the occasion, and that's just not true. It's not you're not going to just somehow magically do what you hoped you would and do the Jason Bourne thing. I mean, you're going to be clumsy, awkward, and very easy to kill. And people who have arsenals of weapons and ammunition, without some real force-on-force, actual fighting stuff, it's a false sense of security. I just see it. This is my full-time job. This is what I see. There was this recent study that came out where guys, and I don't know about the validity, but I heard it had the ring of truth, and I've heard it from multiple sources, but men are 4,000% overestimating themselves, their effectiveness in a fight. They overestimate their effectiveness by 4,000%. And I'm like, yeah, that may be lowballing.
There you go. Straight from the mouth of someone who has real-world combat experience. So if you're new to the world of firearms or self-defense, I would suggest you check out a YouTube channel called Active Self-Protection. It's not something you want to sit on the couch and watch together as a family. There is violence involved, so if that scares you, just grab one of your stuffed animals, a bowl of popcorn, and a blanket, and you'll be okay. I grew up around guns my entire life. Kind of had it in my head that I probably got this figured out if something bad was to happen. Simply not the case. I realized that the first time I went to train with John. Huge eye-opener. It was huge. That was terrible. John has a lot of stress inoculation drills that he incorporates into his training. These really help to reveal your flaws, your weaknesses, and your techniques. It really shows you how stress and fear can just wreak havoc on your body during a violent encounter. I'll admit I was a nervous wreck going into the first class. If I remember correctly, there were 2 sheriff's deputies, 1 state trooper. The rest were just 9 average citizens just trying to better our game. But I was shocked. Even the sheriff's deputies and state trooper had issues. I specifically remember being next to one of the deputies on the line, and he had to draw his gun fast, and he forgot to defeat his weapon retention. So he literally has both hands on his gun trying to get it out of the holster, virtually trying to pull his belt off the holster, but it's locked in the holster. He never got the pistol out before the drill was over. And if it was a real-life exercise, he would have been dead. This is a guy that's on the street doing this every day. And I'm not downing this guy at all because of some really stressful situations. But when you're going up against another living, breathing human being who's trying to kill you, things don't happen at all like you would imagine. Here's something else I learned in the first class and the second class. We, as a shooting community, pretty cool group of people to hang around. We're a very understanding, accepting group of people. In each of the classes, within 10 minutes, it already felt as if we were a brotherhood. If you forgot to bring something, I promise you somebody will offer it to you. If your gun stopped running, which it shouldn't because you're buying quality gear, right? But if it does, I promise you somebody else has a spare that they'll offer. Well, maybe 5 or 6 spares. Okay, 10. One thing that shocked me about the second class, on the first day, John made a statement. He said, by the end of day 2, your brain will be so fried you can't process anything. I finished up day 2, pumped up, bleeding from wounds, but at that point wanting to go back for more because it was just that cool. I walked in the hotel room, stopped at the bathroom, I washed my hands, laid the towel on the counter, went over to the table, pulled my camera out, started offloading some of the videos I'd taken during the course. And within about 30 minutes, went back to the restroom. I saw the towel laying on the counter. I thought to myself, I don't think they cleaned this hotel room very well. They didn't even take this dirty hand towel off the sink. The next morning I got up, well rested. I walked in the restroom that morning and I immediately chuckled and remembered that I had washed my hands first thing when I walked into the hotel room. John was absolutely right. My brain was scrambled beyond belief. You'd think I would have learned by now to just believe what he says. So guys, let's roll into the video. You're going to see a bunch of us running around like maniacs, shooting each other with these UTM rounds. I apologize ahead of time. Some of the footage is not great. I had a GoPro on my helmet. Did not want to take my new camera in there and get the lens shot out of it. So let's not put it off anymore. Work it, make it, do it, makes it harder, better, faster, longer. Work it harder, make it better, do it faster, makes us stronger. Even faster, our work is never harder. Work it harder, make it better, do it
Cause I can't get much longer. Man, I've been waiting on that now. That's how long I've been on ya.
I need you right now. I need you right now. I need you right now.
your work is never over.
Whew! Man, gets my blood running again just watching it. It's one of the coolest things I've ever got to do. And to the ladies out there, if you'd like to just ensure and cement that long-lasting marriage, you need to buy this as a gift for your husband. You'll be like clay in your hands, like a puppet on a string. There you have it, free marriage tip, no charge. You are welcome. I'm not going to share any of the techniques that John taught in his class. That's his livelihood, and to do that would be just downright un-American. That being said, no matter if you're at the beginning of your journey as a shooter or if you're a well-trained individual, John will meet you where you're at and get you where you need to be. And he's just a pretty cool dude to be around too. All that to say, we here at American Patriot love John Lovell. And you should too. If you want to get out and get some serious real world training, if you want to get out and learn to smoke bad guys in a family friendly way, John's probably your guy. So guys, jump on his website, warriorpoetsociety.us, get on there and buy all kinds of cool t-shirts and swag, and know that you're supporting a true 100% red-blooded American patriot. Anyway guys, get out there, get some training. Train hard, train smart.
And rise above.
Thanks, John.